but you don't have any proof except outside the Bible. You don't have any third-person accounts talking anything about Jesus rising from the dead or Paul doing that. In most of the accounts, in most of the third-party or other accounts, speak of the Christians as a group. You don't see anything. You don't see any text actually saying Jesus or actually being historical.
You think so? Historical. Well, then you need to read Josephus, the Jewish historian. He writes about Jesus as an historical person. You need to read the Mishnah.
Doesn't he write it from a third perspective?
You need to read the Mishnah, which is the Jewish commentary on the Torah, which includes very hostile references to Jesus as a magician, as a false prophet. You need to read some of the writings of the Romans who talk about Jesus and followers of this Christ figure as a real person. So there are other documents outside the New Testament Gospels that talk about Jesus as being a real historical person.
I myself accept that Jesus may have been a real person, but you don't really have any text talking about the miracles he does. You don't have any outside text saying he resurrected.
Okay, so is that what you need to believe in Jesus?
If one of the main tenets of Christianity is he rose from the dead so that I may be forgiven, then yes. Because if there's no actual proof outside of the Bible, outside of the sacred text that he rose from the dead, how can you exactly count it to be true? It would be the same as saying Muhammad really went to heaven, according to the Quran.
So what you're asking for is someone who saw Jesus risen from the dead, did not believe in him, and wrote about it.
Did not believe in him, but at least wrote it outside of the Bible. Wrote it as a third person.
We've just been talking about how the Bible wasn't put together until, the 300s. So there were many independent authors who wrote about this Jesus having died and risen from the dead.
But then
you have independent attestation.
Where are those independent attestations?
Matthew, Mark,
besides
Luke.
Those books.
Well, what prejudice do you have against those books? They're different, unique.
They're
books.
They're all in the Bible.
Well, that wasn't until the 300s.
I'm asking. In the 300s.
When they were first written, they weren't together. You had this document Matthew, you had this document Mark, you had this document Luke, you had this document John, you had this document Romans, and 1 Corinthians and 2 Corinthians. They weren't all in one book. They're different documents. That's exciting. It's fantastic. It's exactly what you're looking for.